Hello guys, Paris here, and today I have with me a Chinese superphone. It is the Letv Le One Pro, and it is a phone you should definitely check out. Here's why. Let's start by unboxing the Letv Le One Pro. As you can see, Letv packs everything neatly, and the unboxing gives off a premium feel from the first second. Inside the box, except for the phone, you will find the USB Type-C to USB cable for charging and syncing, the wall adapter that supports power output up to 2 amps, the SIM ejection tool, some literature, and finally, a USB Type-C to micro USB adapter, since the Letv Le One Pro is one of the first phones to come with a USB Type-C port as standard. The Letv Le One Pro is one of the best devices I've held in my hands for a while now, and the build quality is perfect. The device screams premium. The main body is all made out of metal, and the only plastic we find is the antenna bands in the back. A huge plus is also the fact that Letv tried to create a phone with as small bezels as possible, and that adds to the overall beauty of the phone. On the bottom of the phone we find the USB Type-C port and the speaker. Don't be fooled by the two grills though, only the right one produces any sound. On the right side we find the power button and SIM tray that support dual SIM, and at the opposite side is where we find the volume rocker and a dedicated mute slider, just like you would expect to find in an iPhone. Lastly, on top we find the headphone jack and an IR blaster for using the phone as a remote control for various devices. Finally, the back houses the 13-megapixel Sony camera, which is accompanied by a dual-tone LED flash that we will talk about in more detail later. Now let's move back to the front of the device and talk about the display. The Le One Pro has a 5.5-inch IPS panel with a resolution of 2560 by 1440, and if I were to describe the screen using only one word, I'd say it is stunning. Viewing angles are great and color reproduction is very accurate. Everything looks so crisp in this display. One thing I really appreciated is that there is a color management option in the settings with some pretty customized profiles. If you are like me and you want everything to look as accurate as possible, then you can set it at the natural setting and everything looks great. And we arrive at a very crucial aspect of this phone, its performance. Why is it crucial, you ask? Because of the CPU, of course. The Letv Le One Pro is rocking the infamous Snapdragon 810 CPU, which has caused quite a debate this past year. I think that Letv has managed to tame this beast, and the performance has been great for me, without any noticeable drops of power under heavy load and without any overheating issues. Everything seems to be running great. Along with the Snapdragon 810, we find the Adreno 430 GPU, 4GB of DDR4 RAM and 32GB of onboard storage, which is unfortunately non-expandable. The software tasked with driving all this awesome hardware is of course Android, and in the case of the Letv Le One Pro, it is based on Lollipop 5.0 and it is heavily skinned with Letv's own creation called EUI. The EUI is heavily influenced by iOS, with elements like quick toggles, recent apps and settings closely resembling Apple's creation. At least there are no lags, and the overall experience is very smooth. If you want to bring back a somewhat stock look, then you can always choose a third-party launcher like Apex from the Play Store. Until creating this video, Letv has not provided any info regarding the update of the Le One Pro to Marshmallow, but I hope they will not alienate so many people by abandoning such a great phone so early. Let's not forget that the One line is Letv's first smartphone generation, so I can't see how abandoning their first phones will make people interested in the latest endeavors in the smartphone market, and that makes me somewhat hopeful that a Marshmallow update is coming in the near future. The camera department is another area where the Letv Le One Pro shines. The main sensor is a 13-megapixel one made by Sony, specifically the IMX214, and the results it produces are great. In good lighting conditions it snaps photos instantly and it focuses extremely quickly. Even in low light situations it produces very good images, but there is some noise to be expected if you are not using the flash. But you should definitely use the dual-tone LED flash since it helps immensely in producing very good shots in low light. In the video department, the Letv Le One Pro is capable of recording footage in 4K resolution at 30 frames per second. The front camera now may only be 4 megapixels in resolution, but it utilizes the ultra-pixel technology that we first saw in the HTC One M7, with the pixel size being bigger than in most sensors out there which helps very much in low light since the front camera does not come with a flash. The UI of the camera app, as you might have expected, is pretty much what the iOS camera looks like. That though did not bother me at all since I appreciate the simplicity in this case. As usual, I will leave a link down in the description below to a Flickr album so you can see some camera samples from the main camera of the Letv Le One Pro. The Letv Le One Pro is equipped with a 3000 mAh battery. While that may not sound completely encouraging considering the fact that the phone has a Quad HD display and the Snapdragon 810 system on a chip, the battery life is pretty good. It is among the best compared to other Quad HD smartphones, and while it may not compete for the title of the best battery smartphone out there, it is still a very good performer in that department. In a full day of combined usage, you can expect a screen-on time between 4 and 5 hours. Furthermore, the Le One Pro offers great standby time. During the night, it loses between 2 to 4% of charge, which is in my opinion a very good result. As I've already mentioned, the device's only speaker is located at the bottom. While not being the loudest and the clearest out there, it is not too bad either. I would characterize it as decent. On the other hand, the call quality from the microphones and the earpiece is top-notch. During my calls, the other participants would hear me loud and clear, and the same was true for me. So in conclusion, I'd say that the Letv Le One Pro is one of the best Snapdragon 810 devices out there, and one of the best Android flagships overall, and that is without even factoring in the price. If you consider that this phone can be yours for less than $300, then it becomes a no-brainer for someone that looks for a flagship device but is on a budget. Letv certainly impressed me with their first effort in making smartphones, and I really look forward to their next creations. So anyway, that's been it guys from me and the Letv Le One Pro. What are your thoughts about it? Share them with me in the comment section below, and if you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for even more content from me.